What up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah! And it's time for an Outlaws Corner. Yes, indeed it is. Some people think that I stopped making these. I was just focusing on the shows, trying to get those done. I got goals, ideas, plans, but I need to push back the old issues first before I can make my grand stand. But anyways, this is Outlaws Corner. And lately, I've watched this show that's come under a lot of flack lately, and I don't know what the flack's for. So the people that don't like this show can eat a lot of flack and go flack themselves, if you know what I'm saying. It's that He-Man Revelations. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints, and just, if you don't want spoilers, but people were upset that He-Man, remember everyone's spoilers, was killed in the first episode by Skeletor. And then Skeletor himself was wiped off the map during the first episode. What it is, the sword got stuck in the key, it opened the heart of Eternia, all the magic went poof. Literally poof. And it basically turned Eternia into a shithole because magic is what holds Eternia and the planets of their universe together. So without it, everything's fading away and rotting away. So we start off with, of course, Tila, who is basically just a wandering warrior. I don't know why, but people talk shit about her haircut. I thought it was okay. It was cool. It didn't bother me any. She has this wonderful ally who's like a tech girl. They end up joining Evil Lynn, who the sorceress gives her little portion of magic to in order to connect both swords. Because the swords were used to stop the energy, and they were split in two. One in the dark realm, one in the light realm. I guess back in the day, they were forged from both, and it made the sword of power, the conduit from which all magic and Eternia flows. So, and this is just season 1, mind you. I'm going to be reviewing season 2 too. And so, Tila, Orko, and Roboto. Yeah, I said that. Roboto. Don't mean I got the Mr. Roboto. Obviously, well, there's a Roboto in Masters of the Universe. He is created by Man-at-Arms. He has Man-at-Arms memories to a point. So he's basically Man-at-Arms' son. As interesting as that sounds. And Evil Lynn, Beastman, of course, who is fiercely loyal to Evil Lynn. They all go off from heaven, or from hell to heaven. And they end up fighting Adam. Tila and Adam, of course, have static because she was pissed off that he never told her that he was He-Man. Although God knows why she never figured it out. I mean, the mother figured it out, but I guess Tila was just too close to it. She had the Lois Lane problem, I guess, and just couldn't figure it out. Although I think if her and Lois got into a fight, Tila would whoop that ass if there was no tomorrow. And I don't know. I think the story is interesting. What happens to the goons, Skeletor's goons afterwards? Triclops running his own religion. I'm barely skimming over. I'm trying to skim over things so you guys can watch it. Merman losing an eye, and the interesting thing is that Mark Hamill was playing the voice of Skeletor. But I don't think you knew that Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, is actually playing Merman, which I found completely fascinating. It's just a nice side gig for him. You know, you got to make that money. You got to make it wherever you can. Personally, I would have used him, or not just that character, but another character that was a rumor back in the day. But I guess it didn't happen. But we'll see. You never know. There's a lot of appearances from different characters from the different action figures, like Hero, the original sketches of He-Man. They basically used every character they had in the book and made them carriers of the sword before He-Man. They were actually drawings for He-Man to be He-Man, but they didn't make the cut, so they used them for a different storyline, which is cool. They used a lot of different characters, which is awesome. I love the fact that Eternia is a little bit of magic, a little bit of technology mixed together. And they really bring that out in this. It's a nice balance between technology and magic, and just like all the in-betweens, like the technological church that Triclops forms, or just any little thing, you know, that kind of shows you a balance between the two. Like a lot of the good guys, a lot of the bad guys are half machine or part magic or part whatever, you know. I mean, the sword of power gets forged back together by a being who's made out of technology, who's able to harness magic, which is an interesting mix. There's not too many places that have played off the barbarian and technological thing really well. He-Man's one of the few cartoons that are able to marry both of them together. Now, there's only 5 episodes. That's why I'm trying to skim over, you know, the episodes, because I really want you to watch them. And I'm going to say this, Arco goes out like a G. That's all I'm going to say about that one. But yeah, I love Masters. I've watched it when I was a little kid. There was a new series, well, not a new series, but in the 2000s they made one with Christopher Yost. He was a good writer. He was writing a lot of the episodes. That was probably my favorite. This one is right up there too, because my favorite character has always been Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms has always been like the Batman type, you know what I mean? But an older, wiser Batman who's a little less crazy. But all the gadgets, all the ass kickery, all the, you know, all the good stuff that made a superhero a superhero. Well, I guess that brings me to my point. I managed to get one of these Revelation toys. And I hope they release more, because people are kind of iffy about this series. I hope this isn't just the first and only 6, because there were so many good characters. So much very interesting stuff, and you know, it sucks that people didn't give this a chance to like actually go. I mean, people started complaining about the first episode right off the bat, and I'm gonna say why. You know, like, what else were they gonna do? They had to change the story up. I mean, we already had almost 200 episodes of Masters of the Universe, you know, the original cartoon series, on top of a spacefaring show that sucked ass, and then the 2000s one, and then the He-Man movie. So there's been a lot of He-Man stuff. There's been several different comic books. I've covered a few on my channel if you want to check a few out. So there's been a lot of information about He-Man. So they needed to flip the script a little bit, which I had no problem with. It was cool. And they're leaning towards Teela. Of course they're going to lean towards Teela. I mean, even in the original cartoon, spoilers everyone, from an cartoon in the 80s, she was going to take over as being the sorceress. I mean, they even released that in the original toys. So I have absolutely no problem with the direction they went. I love it. I thought it was cool. Season 2 was off the chain too. I highly recommend season 1. It ends with Skeletor sort of getting his way, and season 2 actually makes it so much better. And it seems that Mark Hamill tends to play these insensitive jerks that are real shitheels to their girlfriends. I mean, he has a magnificent talent for doing that. And I don't know if that's just casting, or I know, like, I don't know, but they tend to have him play that character a lot. I mean, not so much the Joker, but, you know, dudes that are just like complete shits to their women, and it's just like, wow, it's amazing how these women just keep coming back to him. I mean, Skeletor must be the big bad bone daddy, if you know what I'm saying. That ain't just a battle rod he's swinging. But yeah, I recommend watching it. It's good. They do a good job in taking care of the characters, who they were. And that's a rare thing when they do a reboot. I feel like they lose the characters, or they become like stereotypes of what they were. This show, you can tell there was a lot of love put into it. And people don't give Kevin Smith enough credit. I know he makes a lot of dick and fart joke movies, but those movies are damn good. They spoke to a generation, and he's done other movies like Red State, which is really good. So you got to give Kevin a chance to tell the story. I hope there's a season 3. I pray there's a season 3. Maybe more action figures released, because this set is off the chain. I saw the new cartoon, the other cartoon they made, and it sucked. It's really geared towards kids. They change everything. That's why I didn't like about the brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, where they gave them new weapons and new this and new that. You guys changed it. Like, what if you took Wolverine and, I don't know, took away his claws and gave him guns? It just doesn't, you know. There's certain things you just can't change before you ruin what magic you had in it. Man-at-Arms has always been cool. There's even a mention of it in the cartoon where Evelyn says that she never thought He-Man was the most dangerous man in Eternity. She always thought it was Man-at-Arms. Because Man-at-Arms is a strategist. He's a thinker. And it kind of sucks what happens to him in the beginning of the cartoon, too. I really, don't want to give a lot of that explanation. I really want you guys to see this. But Duncan is a man of honor. He really is. That's what drives him. Honor. And love for his family. Love for the people around him. He actually has a heart. And he has some of the coolest weapons ever. Laser blaster cannon, mace, big mace, you know what I mean? Not the psst. He has all kinds of different toys on his suit. And I wish they would make a deluxe Man-at-Arms where he had different weapons and stuff like that. It only comes with a club and a few accoutrements for the hands. But it's really cool. This is classic Eternian armor. And his history with the sorceress finally gets revealed. They answer some questions on that one. And there's always been two lines of thinking on that. I'm kind of glad they went with the one that I always liked. This show went on for a long time. It actually started out as toys. Like Transformers and a few of the other ones. It started out as toys, and they built the story around the toys. A man named Roger Sweet, who recently passed away, drew all the basic figures, the way they look, stuff like that, and everyone else kind of put in their stories, the comics and this and that. There's an old saying, success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. So there's many people that have taken credit for the writing of He-Man, the production, getting it out there. But Roger Sweet was the one who did the art designs. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It's a very interesting story on He-Man. They actually did a thing on Netflix about it, on a toy channel or a toy show. Really interesting. I'd suggest catching that. And I love the art. I mean, this is just cool. The box actually looks really nice. I don't know how they're going to make a Castle Grayskull. It's going to be huge. But yeah, I recommend watching this. The 80s ones are, I'm going to be honest with you, they're corny as hell. But you're a little kid, they're worth watching. I think it's better than SpongeBob myself. But anyways, let's crack this open, huh? There's the magic right here. Oh, look at that. It came out one whole way. Sweet, huh? Man, this one's stuck in there. Now, back in the day, the He-Man toys used to come with different weapons. And a fun fact, the first Man-at-Arms they made did not have his classic porn star mustache that he has now. I don't know what happened, but the original ones, the original Eternian Guard, did not have one. And it was added on later. I guess they added a mustache on the cartoon. And they decided that he had to have a mustache, period. But check out the toy. I'm having a problem getting the mace on, but look so far. Look at that. The attention to detail on these things is just freaking awesome. And of course, he comes with a few hands, as you can see. I'm pretty sure one of them is for the mace, but it should just fit on. I mean, like some of these toys are real stiff. When you first get them, I don't want to break that right now, but this is attention to detail right here. This is a wonderful toy. Back in the old days, the action figures used to just be in one pose, so it was very hard to move them, but this one's multi-posable. Like I said, they did a great job on the armor. And why is it like this? I have no clue. You're gonna have to ask the artist. This is where actually the gun comes out, like it transforms. He has like a rocket thing right here. Like I said, his armor is actually really cool. I don't know how it does it. Some kind of Eternian trickery or something, but he has a lot of different tools, a lot of different gadgets. And like I said, Man-at-Arms has always been one of my favorites. I can see him as a team leader, and they did a great job in this Masters of the Universe Revelations, making Man-at-Arms who he is. They did a great job with the other characters. I recommend watching it, and I recommend picking up these Revelations toys. They're worth the buy. They're worth the detail alone is so awesome. I'm gonna have a great time displaying him. I'm gonna have to see which hand actually puts in the mace, but this was an awesome buy, and it's an awesome show. I hope you guys give it a chance. I'd look at it again, season 1 and 2. If they don't make season 3, I guess at least we got that. But I hope they do. Come on, Kevin Smith. Ignore the haters. Fuck them. Make season 3. Netflix, make it happen. I'm still pissed off that you canceled Cowboy Bebop, but that's another video. That's gonna be another motherfucking video. He-Man, Revelations. Pick up the action figures. Look how cool that is. So fresh and so clean. I've been waiting for one of these for a while. Great story. And as always, your main man always tells you the truth. He-Man Revelations. Check it out on Netflix. And as always, I am the Comic Outlaw. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.